Good morning. It is Monday, the 1st of July, 2019. From the National Weather Service in Raleigh, this is Nick Petro with your weekly impact weather briefing for Central North Carolina. And this weather outlook, this weather briefing covers basically all this week until Sunday through the 7th of July. So let's just jump right into the weather pattern that we typically show on the Monday briefing. There we go. There it is. So as you can see, high pressure centered over, northern Virginia and West Virginia, eastern West Virginia. That high pressure will basically drift over the region today, and then that high center will drift east tonight, ending up offshore, and that'll set up a typical hot summertime pattern that'll become established over the Carolinas for the rest of the work week. So pretty typical kind of south-southwest return flow around that high centered offshore. It's a pretty typical pattern this time of year. Now, you can see as we head through the middle of the week, if you're looking in the upper right, you'll notice some green shading over there. That's representative of the scattered thunderstorms that will be possible each afternoon and evening, starting as early as tomorrow. But really, the main weather story this week will be the heat. We are expecting heat index values eclipsing 100 by the middle of this week. We may, in fact, even need heat advisories. We'll see. The models have trended. We've been advertising the heat and the 100-plus degree readings for quite a few days now for the middle of this week. In fact, a couple places hit 100 yesterday down south near Fayetteville. So we're already close to the triple-digit mark. So when we increase the humidities we head through the week, that pushes the heat index values above 100. So our heat index, our heat advisory criteria is 105. So if we expect heat index to reach 105, then we issue our heat advisory. But you know what? The values don't have to hit 105 before people start experiencing heat stress and heat-related issues. So even if there isn't a heat advisory in effect and we have temperatures in the 90s and approaching 100, folks, we need to be real careful and practice heat safety, which I'll touch on here in a few minutes. But anyway, that'll probably be the main weather story. And then finally, by the weekend, you'll see in the lower right in the panel there a cold front that will be drifting our way from the north. That'll increase our rain chances. And with the increased clouds and rain chances, that should give us a little bit of cooling by this weekend. In fact, the one thing that may help us during the middle of the week with all the heat that's expected is the showers. So the last bullet there, Independence Day, it's looking to be hot, but also there could be a few showers and thunderstorms around. It could be wet at times. Not a rain out, but it could be wet at times. So depending on when those storms move across and who gets them, some places may be cooled down, refreshingly, if you will, cooled down on Wednesday and Thursday for Independence Day, helping to kind of squelch, if you will, those high heat index values. But places where it doesn't rain, that's obviously where we're going to see heat indices around or eclipsing 100. So you'll want to be sure to check back for updates as we head through this week for your Independence Day, celebrations, activities, outdoor activities, etc. And certainly give us a call if you need any weather assistance and weather support as we head through the Independence Day holiday. So that's the way things are shaping up pattern-wise. All right. So as you can see, the severe thunderstorm potential provided courtesy of the Storm Prediction Center shows, basically no thunderstorm activity expected today. Most of the thunderstorm activity expected across the western half of the state tomorrow, and then, there could be a few thunderstorms scattered anywhere across the state on Wednesday, and that'll be the case on Thursday as well. Really right through the rest of the week for that matter. All right. This slide shows rainfall amounts, but it also can kind of give you a sense of which days there's going to be more heavier rain around. And you'll notice that today there's nothing painted over us today, so dry. Mainly dry tomorrow, although, across the Triad and points west there could be, a few showers, and then along the coast due to the sea breeze. Wednesday's kind of a repeat story. The sea breeze will be active. The higher terrain will be active with shower and thunderstorm activity. And then in the middle of the state, it's just, what happens to drift our way from either direction. Very scattered. But by Thursday, Independence Day, and then even into Friday, there could be a few more showers and storms around, a little bit better coverage. Again, I wouldn't call Independence Day a washout, but I think we'll see a few more storms Thursday than we would, say, on Wednesday. So you'll want to check back again for those outdoor activities. Either way, we have to be mindful of the heat, and then also for outdoor activities, the lightning potential as storms move across. So be ready to have a plan to get folks out of harm's way if storms are approaching. So make sure you check your plans to make sure that those issues can be addressed, because there will be some lightning around on Independence Day. All right, and then as we head through the weekend, those rain chances continue as that front drifts kind of to the south and approaches the Carolinas. So that's the way things are shaping up. Looking at the tropics, hurricane season obviously has already started. It started the 1st of June. But the 5-day graphical tropical weather outlook from the Hurricane Center shows no new tropical cyclones expected the next 5 days. That's good news. All right. Looking further ahead down the road, looking into the next week, this is courtesy of the Climate Prediction Center. Odds are still kind of favoring, hotter than normal rather than, say, normal or below normal. And then odds slightly tilt toward it being a little wetter than normal. So that's the way things are shaping up next week. All right. So let me summarize for this week. High pressure over the region today will drift east tonight. Typical hot summertime patterns becoming established over the Carolinas for the rest of the work week. And scattered thunderstorms will be possible each afternoon and evening starting tomorrow, Tuesday. The main weather story this week will be heat. Heat index values eclipsing 100 by Wednesday. And that'll be the case on Thursday as well. But the only time it wouldn't be the case is if you happen to get a thunderstorm drift across or a heavy rain shower before the heat really tops out. But anyway, regardless, it's going to be warm and hot, high heat indices if that's the case. Anyway, increased rain chances and perhaps some subtle cooling by this weekend. When I say cooling, I mean, instead of it being in the upper 90s, maybe around 90. And that's thanks to the increased rain chances and cloud coverage. And then, as I mentioned, Independence Day this Thursday is looking to be hot, but also possibly wet at times. So you'll want to be sure to check back for updates as we head through this week. There'll be some lightning around that day as well. Don't forget that. And you can see the values there at the bottom. So it looks like the hottest day will be Wednesday. Okay, and then Independence Day is looking pretty hot too, but that could be the heat could be influenced or modulated, if you will, by showers and thunderstorms that are around that could put a little bit of a cap on that. All right, so I need your help. I need your help in spreading the word about heat safety. Heat's the story this week. So, stay hydrated, take breaks in the shade, drink the water ahead of time. That's what you want to remind folks to do. Don't wait until you're already outside and dehydrated. You want to hydrate before you go outside, or best just to stay inside, take breaks. Never leave kids or pets unattended in the cars. That's pretty obvious, but, we still hear about situations where that happens. So always look before you lock the doors and leave. And then again, limit strenuous outdoor activities, find shade, stay hydrated. Try to keep the strenuous activities confined to the morning and the evening hours when it's a little bit cooler. All right, so again, 2 things we're concerned about. The heat this week, especially the middle of the week, and also lightning as people are outside doing Independence Day activities, even Wednesday, not only Independence Day, but also Friday as well with the long weekend. All right, so that wraps up the weekly briefing for Central North Carolina. And at this point,